Is it technically possible to time travel? Well, in a few ways, yes. It sounds confusing, but hear me out. Firstly, let's look at the box theory. This theory is that you are time traveling all the time. Now, I don't mean you can just click a button and travel 400 years, because that would be absurd, right? But I mean that you actually time travel once every single second. Before I go into detail, let's explain the basics. Our world is split into 4 dimensions. The first one, second one, third one, and you guessed it, the skibbity fourth one. The main dimension we need to look at is the fourth one. To put it simply, time is the fourth dimension of space. This box theory states that our universe can be categorized into a big box. In this box holds all of time and space. This includes every single event that has happened and every event that will happen. So this box knows if Cocomelon will die in 500 years from now. Let's hope it does. It also includes all of our galaxies, planets, black holes, we'll save those for later, etc. As you can see, the most brain rot planet in there is right here. Anyways, for this theory to work, the past and future we are traveling into must actually exist. For example, if you went back in time to change what you said in an argument, that argument has to have actually existed in the first place. Now, going back to what I said before, time is quite literally the fourth dimension of space. According to Einstein, the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. Another thing called the speed of light comes into play here. Humans will never be able to reach the speed of light unless it's that one friend running away from woman. But you can get very close to it. Let's say we launch the spaceship at 99% of the speed of light. If you're outside of the spaceship and watching it, the journey would take over a year to complete. However, if you are one of the astronauts boarded onto the ship, that journey would only take 7 weeks. Just like that, the astronauts have jumped 10 months into the future. This happens because of something called time dilation. Time dilation simply means that time travels differently for everyone. It all depends where you're observing from and where you are on the gravitational field. Although if you did time travel, you now exist in the fourth dimension. This means that you would not be able to interact with the third dimension. An example of this is in the third Harry Potter movie. The main characters travel back in time, however when they do, they must not interact with their past selves. If they do, it risks the timeline being messed up and chaos from occurring. Could you imagine right now, as you're speaking, clicking subscribe, your future self appears in front of you and tells you not to subscribe? I would throw him out of the window too. Anyways, subscribe. However, the main thing preventing you from interacting with the third dimension is called paradoxes. A cool paradox we can use is the grandfather paradox. I'm going to use myself, for example. Let's say my grandfather died when I was alive, and I want to travel back in time to kill him before my parents become pregnant. However, this is not possible because to kill my grandfather, I have to exist. But if I kill my grandfather before my parents have become pregnant, that means I don't exist. Therefore meaning that there should be something in time and space that's preventing me from killing my grandfather. Another cool thing is called the butterfly effect. This means that when one thing changes, it slowly trickles down the branch of time and ends up causing a huge impact. For example, if we look at the grandfather paradox and say that my grandfather is Elon Musk's parents. If I went back in time to kill them, that would also kill Elon Musk. As a result, we wouldn't have Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter would be a different thing, etc. So any past scenarios that time travelers might enter, any change made by the time traveler will have huge consequences to the future. As much as we would love to travel in the past, it's not safe at all. But even if you do alter things while in the past, nothing can actually be changed because that time period has already passed. For example, if I went back in time to switch what I said in an argument, that argument and every single other occurrence since then has already happened. This means if you change what you said in the argument, which you can't, you're technically changing every other thing in the world since then. But what about traveling into the future? Well, if you travel into the future and return back to the present, everything someone does in that time period of when the time traveler travels into is predetermined. This means that no one has free will. According to Nikovo, in the fourth dimension there cannot be multiple branches of the fourth dimensional universe. There is only one timeline. So, going back to the grandfather paradox, if you tried to kill your grandfather, there would be something stopping you from doing so. This means that time travel is logically possible, except time travelers would be unable to alter the past or the future. Time travel is truly one of the most confusing things to wrap your head around. Haha, see what I did there. But anyways, if you could travel in time towards that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, goodbye.